thought today I'll just show you what I do for when we go out hunting. So where we got the hawk on the glove, I have this clipped on there. Now this is in no way meant to keep a hawk secured. This is only when I've got telemetry on, and I know if that does come undone, the hawk's okay, he's got telemetry, I can get him back. This is what I clip on to the flying jesses. So this hawk, if you've not seen this channel before, he is at fat weight, but I've been doing this daily, so he's pretty good. Step, good boy. So at the moment he's now on the Muse jesses. So the flying jesses are there, and if I wanted to clip onto those, I'll put the two holes in the end together. So he's on there now on the flying jesses. What you have to just make sure all the time you've always got the hawk secured in someone. If he's from flying him or hunting, once he's away, you just put that over there like that, and that's that then until I need to bring them flying jesses back, and then we clip on and secure. But our routine will normally be, we get him out, we have a way up, and then from there I'll connect onto his flying jesses, then remove his Muse jesses, then we're off into the travel box, and then straight out the travel box and away. I'm going to take this off of here now because we're not using it. Put that up there, ready for hunting in a few weeks, not long now. Good boy. He remembers his whistle. Woody, do you remember your whistle? It'll all come back, won't it? Yeah, it'll all come back, won't it, Woody? Yeah. Because as you know, don't bark. Harris hawks are renowned for not liking dogs, but he's grown up with this dog. He is his flushing dog, so he knows exactly what's going on with this one, and they get on well. Don't you, mate? Hey? Yes, right, Woody? I was just going to talk a little bit about the way we hunt, and the fact that when we first started hunting with this hawk, on his first kill I made sure that he ate as much as he could fit in that crop. In fact, I've done it on every catch he's done. So whenever he catches, he had a good full crop on the first season. So I only ever got him catching one prey item, feeding up, and then take him home, weigh him the next day, and if he was too heavy I didn't fly him. But as the season goes on, then when he catches I still fly him the next day. But that's something you have to get a feel for, because what you don't want is to fly him high and then have a job getting him back. But for this hawk, as the season goes on, he's gets more and more calm, and I can fly him at higher weights. But usually, if he catches, he'll fly the next day as well. And he sometimes catches the next day as well. And then it becomes a little bit more awkward because I can't burn the weight off. But with him, I burn the weight off rather than reduce food. So he'll fly, get fit, and that burns that weight off that he's put on from the day before. So for our style of hunting, what we do is never multiple kill. But this hawk does hunt 7 days a week, So there's no real need for us to do that. I know if you was just flying, you had one day, you might want a multiple kill, but I think the best way to get your hawk keen and really wanting to take that prey item is by letting the hawk know that when he catches it, you're not going to take it off of it, that he's going to get a full crop. So he has a good full crop every time he catches. If he doesn't catch, then I'll give him the right amount to keep his weight stable. But because he's flying every day, he burns it off anyway, so it's surprising what this hawk eats. So I'll start off the season, just drop his weight a little bit until he starts coming on the creance in the garden. I will film that in a couple of weeks, and then I might take him out on a creance once. I'll see how he is, but the creance weight will be lower than what we will be hunting at eventually, because he'll be just starting to work out what's going on. And the more calm he gets, the more used to me he gets, the more we put his weight up, the more muscle he builds. And I think last year I was flying him up at £1.11 and his fat weight's £1.12.5. So people do things in different ways, but I think the way that we hunt, when your hawk gets entered, feed it right up and don't take food off of them. So that's what I've done, and this hawk is tremendous. When he's out, he's taking whatever he can see, whatever he wants, he goes for it. This year we're going to do some different style of flying. I'm going to get him onto some different things. I've got a few ideas. He knows whatever he's going to fly for, the effort is worth it, because when he gets it, he gets a good feed. The other thing I should do this season, I've already been out and had a look at the permissions, but on our first day out, I want to get him catching, so I'm going to take him to somewhere where I know he's got 90% chance of catching a rabbit, and say when he gets that rabbit, I'll open it up for him and he'll eat as much as he wants until he can't eat anymore, and then I'll just reduce that weight again. I probably won't fly him the next day after the first kill, because he'll still be a little bit edgy at high weight, but certainly after a few weeks we catch and we fly daily, whatever happens. He'll catch, eat, we fly, he burns it off, he catches, he eats, he flies, he burns it off, and that's the way we shed the weight on him, just by literally exercising. I mean, you could, and people do, fly a hawk and when it catches then they give it a rest and let that weight drop off over a few days, but the way we do it is literally we're out flying and burning it off. He's like an athlete. He will be a little bit unfit the first couple of weeks, so I'm not going to go mad going long distances, so I'll take him somewhere where he will catch, but he hasn't got to fly too far. As the season goes on, sometimes we're out for 2 to 3 hours just walking, and he's flying through the wood following me, but he's got to get his fitness up, and that takes a few weeks, if not month and a half, till he's super fit. But you're good, aren't you, Woody?
Give him a little weight up.
Yeah?
It's normally about 112.5, his fat weight. There's 113 and a bit. Just put a little bit on, because I can hood this hawk if I need to, and sometimes you do need to, for sure. and especially if I'm going out with other falconers and we're all taking a turn, and we might have different species as well, so you know, sometimes it's necessary. Right, that's enough for today, buddy. Put you on there for a bit, shall we? And have a little chill out. Hey, have a little chill out. Nice. There's a lot of people like their hawks a little bit more wild. There's nothing wrong with that. But for me, I'll treat him like he's part of the family, which is the same with my dogs. And I'm getting him as tame as I can. And he's not too bad. He's going to be even better in a few weeks when we drop his weight a little. But for a fat hawk that's molting, he's pretty good. And you, Woody, have a little rouse. Have a little rouse, Woody. I went quite a long way to get this hawk. I bought it off a reputable breeder. I knew the bloodline, and the bloodline of this hawk comes right back to a bird called Izzy. My mate down the road had. So I know this bloodline, and that hawk he had was spot on years ago. And this one has done me proud. I know that a lot of it's to do with the fact that I'm out every day with it and I'm treating it the way I do, but it's still got a good bloodline, and his fat weight of £1.13 is not massive, but he's not small. They sort of vary a bit. So he's got his wings down now, having a little sunbathe. Quite happy with me standing here. He's talking to me and just sort of saying, don't get too close. And that's what they do. They don't really want you handling them all the time. They're quite comfortable, but he prefers just to sit there like that. And he would even stay on his mews and be quite happy. Wouldn't you, Woody? Is that right? Yeah. But I'll have a walk around and just see where these feathers are on the train. So there's one there. So we've still got that to come down. And there's one there. There's just two on the way. So normally you just leave your hawk to molt out, pick it up at the end, and then start creance. But I'm doing it in a slightly different way. But we get the same result at the end. Well, it is all about the result at the end. And as long as the hawk, this one, I'm not seeing any stress. If it was stressed out, I wouldn't do this. I'll just leave it. But you can see how calm this hawk is. And you, Woody? Looking forward to hunting? Woody? Yes? Have a little rouse. I could fly peregrines, merlins, sparrowhawks, goshawks. I've chosen to fly Harris hawk. I'm certainly happy, and it's been what I wanted to fly, so I'm not using this hawk as a stepping stone. No need. You get your hawk fit, you get your Harris hawk fit, you get that Harris hawk hunting well, and they're tremendous. We hunt from soaring on, so here, follow me. If we get in a nice updraft on a hill, I can hunt him from the fist, walking along hedgerows, or I can walk through a wood and he'll follow me through. And the little patterdale flushes, so they're just great. When I see my mate, we go out and fly peregrines and merlins, and they're great. Them merlins are fantastic, but there's just something about a Harris hawk that gets me ticking. I love them. Another little thing to remember, if it's your first time and you've got Harris hawk for this season, if you're trying to do something and it's not working, change the routine. Don't keep trying to do it, because that's just reinforcing the problem that the hawk doesn't like. So for instance, if you went into the mews and you tried to hood, or there was something you was doing in the mews and you wouldn't accept it, it's no good keep trying to do the same thing each day, the same thing somewhere else, but move. Don't do it in the same spot. So at one time I was going in the mews, putting his telemetry on in there, and he wouldn't let me do it. So I tried it for a couple of days. So every time I went to put his telemetry in, he was kicking off and baiting. So this was on the first season. So I stopped, and then all I did then was bring him out, weigh him, then put his telemetry on, and just that change, he accepted it. I can do it anywhere now. But what I'm saying is, if your hawk doesn't like something, don't keep trying to do it. Just change the routine, because most times all you're going to do is reinforce the fact that he doesn't like something, and it'll get worse and worse. So these hawks are very intelligent, and what you need to do is just be a bit more crafty than they are, and think one step ahead, and try and think like the hawk, and they're going to try and outthink you as well. So if you just started and you're going out with your hawk, and that hawk flies down at your feet, and you feed that hawk at your feet, that hawk will always just keep flying down to your feet. So you only want to feed that hawk if it's done what you wanted, which for me is, I'll cast it off, it'll follow me through, and it'll only get fed if it comes from a tree, never from a fence post, and certainly never from the ground. The early day, the first season, I'd never ever give that hawk any food if it flies to my feet. It has to come from a tree, and that way that hawk start following on, and then you reward it. But they will, if they can, train you for sure. I'm not sure if they realise they're training you, or they just go for the easy option, and if you're giving them an easy option, that's the option they will take. Hello Woody. So if I can give you 4 bits of advice: 1, if it doesn't like something, don't keep pushing it, just change the routine somehow. And 2, get them entered as quick as you can, get them on a catch, and let them feed up on that catch, a full feed. In fact, I'd say to keep doing that as much as you can. If you want to take the rabbit off of them, then, and you're trading off, make sure they have a good feed up. But I'd say my personal advice would be, let them feed right up on the catch until they don't want any more, and they step off of it. That way your hawk will be more tenacious in the field. The third bit of advice is never feed the hawk from the ground or from a fence post or fence. Always make sure it comes from a tree. So if the hawk does come to your feet, pick him up, throw him back up in a tree and call him from the tree, and then give him a little treat. And the fourth bit of advice I'd say, when you do feed them out in the field when you're hunting, don't need to show them the food. Once you've done your creance and they know where the food is, as soon as you can, start hiding the food in the fist, pull them back, so that as far as they know, they don't know if there's food in that glove or not. They hope there is, because one day if you're out and you haven't got any food, all you need to do is raise your glove up and they'll still come back. They don't need to see the food on the glove. So as long as you're giving that hawk a tidbit 80% of the time, when you call him back a little piece in the glove, he knows if he comes back there's a little morsel inside the glove. He hasn't got to see it, otherwise if he looks at your glove and there's no food on it, there's no reason to come back. And just lastly, all I can say is enjoy your time, get out as much as you can and bring the most out of your hawk, because these Harris hawks, they've got so much potential, the same as any falcon or hawk. You've got to bring it out of them.